The Galactic Empire was a vast and powerful force, ruling over many planets. Its ships flew through the stars, bringing fear to those who dared to oppose them. They were known for their advanced technology and ruthless conquests. But today, something unusual was happening. In the command center of the Empire's flagship, Commander Zara stood before a massive screen. Her sharp eyes scanned the data coming in from their latest mission. The screen flashed with bright colors and numbers, but one signal stood out. It was coming from a small blue planet called Earth. "What is this?" Zara muttered, leaning closer to the screen. The signal was unlike anything they had encountered before. It pulsed rhythmically, almost as if it were alive. Zara's curiosity piqued. She turned to Dr. Leo, the chief scientist. "Doctor, analyze that signal. I want to know what we're dealing with," she ordered. Dr. Leo adjusted his glasses and began typing furiously on his console. The sound of beeping filled the room as he worked. After a few moments, he looked up, his expression a mix of excitement and concern. "It appears to be a communication of some sort," he said slowly. "But it's not like anything we've seen. They seem to be warning us." "A warning?" Zara raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "From whom? And why should we care?" Dr. Leo hesitated. "It's coming from a primitive species called humans. They are not advanced like us. They're still developing their technology. But this signal, it seems urgent." Zara waved her hand dismissively. "Humans? They are no threat. We can easily take this planet. Prepare a message demanding their surrender. Tell them to submit to the Galactic Empire." Dr. Leo shook his head. "Commander, we should consider this carefully. They could be more dangerous than they seem. Their response might show us their true capabilities." Zara's confidence never wavered. "Send the message, Leo. I want to see how they react. Show them the power of the Empire!" Meanwhile, on Earth, the signal reached a small group of scientists and military leaders. They gathered in a dimly lit room, staring at the large screen displaying the strange message. Dr. Angela, the lead scientist, looked worried as she read the text. "This is not good," she said, her voice shaking. "They are demanding our surrender. We need to respond." General Mitchell, the head of the military, leaned forward, frowning. "What if we just comply? They are a powerful force. We might stand a better chance if we don't provoke them." Dr. Angela shook her head fiercely. "No! That would only show weakness. We must send a warning back. We need them to know we are not afraid. We need to stand our ground." After a heated discussion, the group finally agreed. They drafted a message to the Galactic Empire. It read simply, "We gave you a warning. Run!" As they sent the message, the tension in the room was palpable. Everyone knew the risks of challenging such a powerful force. But they also knew they had to protect their planet. The humans waited anxiously for a response. Back in the command center of the Empire's flagship, Zara received the human response. She read it aloud, her voice dripping with disbelief. "We gave you a warning. Run!" Laughter erupted in the room. "Did they really just tell us to run?" One officer chuckled. Zara's expression turned serious. "They think this is a game? Let them laugh. We will show them what the Empire is capable of." But deep inside, Dr. Leo felt uneasy. He had studied many species across the galaxy, and he knew that underestimating an opponent could lead to disaster. As Zara plotted their next move, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. The Empire was about to make a grave mistake. They were about to underestimate the determination and spirit of humanity. With that, Zara ordered the fleet to prepare for the journey to Earth, unaware that a storm was brewing on the blue planet below. The clash between the Galactic Empire and humanity was about to begin, and the warning was clear: humans would not go down without a fight. In the dark corners of space, two worlds were on a collision course, each confident in their own strength. But only time would tell who would prevail in this battle of wills. As the Empire's ships powered up for the journey, the fate of both civilizations hung in the balance. The Galactic Empire was buzzing with excitement as Commander Zara prepared her fleet for the journey to Earth. She stood at the helm of her flagship, the Starbreaker, feeling confident and ready to conquer yet another planet. The crew moved efficiently around her, following her orders without question. Zara was sure of victory. Humans were weak and unprepared for the might of the Empire. "Are the ships ready?" she asked, her voice steady and commanding. "Yes, Commander!" replied Lieutenant Rhea, her first officer. "The fleet is fully equipped and ready for launch." Zara turned to Dr. Leo, who was still analyzing the strange human signal. "What have you found out about these humans?" she inquired. Are they hiding any secrets? Dr. Leo looked nervous. They may seem primitive, but their technology is developing rapidly. They have weapons and systems that we do not fully understand yet. Enough of this! Zara interrupted, waving her hand dismissively. They sent us a warning, thinking it would scare us. They are not our equals! Prepare the ships for departure. Meanwhile, on Earth, the mood was quite different. Dr. Angela and General Mitchell watched the Empire's ships on their radar screens. They were amazed by the size of the galactic fleet. The general's face turned pale as he realized the threat they faced. What are we going to do? He asked, panic creeping into his voice. They have far more ships than we anticipated. Dr. Angela stood tall, her eyes burning with determination. We must stay calm. We need to prepare our defenses and show them that we will fight back. We cannot let them think we are weak. The humans quickly gathered their military forces. They called in the best pilots and engineers, working together to strengthen their defenses. They knew that they had to be smart and creative to stand against the Empire's advanced technology. We can't match their firepower, General Mitchell admitted. But we have something they don't. What's that? One of the officers asked, confused. Human spirit, he replied firmly. We fight for our homes and our families. That makes us strong! Back on the Starbreaker, Zara continued to underestimate the humans. She believed that the Empire's show of force would easily intimidate them. As the fleet entered Earth's atmosphere, Zara ordered her ships to position themselves above major cities. She wanted to send a clear message. The Empire was in control. Prepare for a demonstration, she commanded. Show them the power of the Empire! The ships above Earth fired beams of light into the sky, creating a spectacular display. The bright colors lit up the night, and many humans looked up in awe. However, instead of fear, the sight ignited something else. Defiance. On the ground, people gathered to watch the light show. Dr. Angela and General Mitchell watched from their command center, discussing strategies to respond. They're trying to scare us, Dr. Angela said, her voice steady. But we must show them we are not afraid. We need to take action, General Mitchell nodded. Let's launch our jets and show them that we can fight back. With determination, the humans took to the skies in their fighter jets, soaring into the atmosphere. The pilots were filled with a mix of fear and courage as they faced the massive ships of the Empire. They flew in formation, ready to prove their worth. Meanwhile, Zara watched from her ship, shocked at the humans' reaction. They're actually sending jets into the sky? She exclaimed. How foolish! Dr. Leo shook his head. This could be a mistake, Commander. They might be more capable than we thought. Enough of this! They're just humans, nothing more! Zara snapped, her confidence unwavering. We will crush them easily! As the two sides prepared for their inevitable clash, the humans showed their courage and creativity in battle. They had a few tricks up their sleeves, using the element of surprise to their advantage. Meanwhile, Zara's arrogance blinded her to the truth about the humans. The Galactic Empire was about to learn a hard lesson. Underestimating their opponent could lead to disaster. As the tensions rose, both sides braced for the conflict ahead. The battle for Earth was just beginning, and the stakes had never been higher. Humans were ready to fight for their planet, and the Empire was about to discover that strength came in many forms. The Galactic Empire loomed over Earth, its massive fleet casting shadows across the planet. Commander Zara stood at the helm of the Starbreaker. Her eyes narrowed as she surveyed the human jets flying defiantly in the sky. Despite her earlier confidence, a knot of anxiety twisted in her stomach. The humans were not backing down, and that surprised her. Prepare for the grand display, Zara commanded, her voice firm. We will show them the full power of the Empire. They will see what happens when they challenge us. Lieutenant Rhea, her first officer, nodded and began issuing orders to the crew. They worked quickly, readying the ship's weapons and systems for the spectacular demonstration. Zara wanted to make an impression, one that would leave the humans trembling in fear. Meanwhile, the human pilots were feeling the pressure as they gathered in their command center. General Mitchell paced back and forth, anxiety etched across his face. What are they planning? He wondered aloud. We need to be ready for anything. Dr. Angela looked at the screen displaying the Empire's ships above them. Whatever it is, we need to keep our cool. We can't let them see our fear. One of the pilots, Captain Jason, stepped forward. We can show them we are not afraid. Let's give them a show of our own. We may not have their firepower, but we have skills and creativity. Right, General Mitchell agreed, feeling a spark of hope. Let's prepare our jets for a display. If they want a show, we'll give them one. As the humans set to work, Zara's fleet was ready. The Starbreaker took the lead, and Zara's voice echoed through the communication system. People of Earth, you have been warned! Now witness the might of the Galactic Empire. With that, the ships unleashed a stunning display of lights and colors into the sky. Beams of energy shot upwards, illuminating the dark atmosphere. Explosions of colors danced across the stars, creating a breathtaking yet terrifying spectacle. The Empire wanted to show the humans that they were not to be trifled with. Below, crowds of people gazed up in wonder and fear. The light show was mesmerizing, but it also sent a clear message: the Empire was ready to fight. However, rather than being intimidated, many felt a surge of pride and unity. The humans were reminded of their resilience, and they would not let fear control them. Dr. Angela and General Mitchell watched from their command center, realizing this was a moment to rally the human spirit. "Look at them," General Mitchell said, pointing to the sky. "We need to respond. Show them we can stand tall." The command center erupted with energy as the humans prepared their jets for takeoff. As they soared into the sky, they arranged themselves in intricate formations. Captain Jason led the way, his heart racing with determination. "All right, pilots," he called through the radio. "Let's show them what we've got. Remember, they may have the numbers, but we have heart." With that, the human jets began their own display, weaving through the sky with agility and skill. They flew in tight formations, creating patterns that dazzled the eyes. The pilots executed flips and rolls, showing their training and dedication. It was a bold statement. Humanity would not be intimidated. Back on the Starbreaker, Zara watched in disbelief as the humans responded to her show. "What are they doing?" she shouted, frustrated. "This is not how it's supposed to go!" Dr. Leo, standing beside her, felt a wave of concern. "Commander, we may have underestimated them. Their spirit is strong and they are willing to fight." Zara gritted her teeth, her confidence shaken. She realized that the humans were not merely reacting, they were fighting back with creativity and determination. The dazzling display of lights in the sky turned into a battle of wills. As the two sides danced through the stars, the humans felt a surge of hope. They realized they could stand up against the Empire. With each maneuver and each spark of light, they sent a message. They were not afraid. The battle was no longer just about weapons and firepower, it was about courage and resilience. The Galactic Empire had thought they could intimidate the humans, but they were learning a valuable lesson. In the vastness of space, the heart of humanity burned brightly, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The stage was set for a showdown unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. As the two forces prepared for the inevitable clash, one thing became clear. Humanity was ready to defend its home, and the Empire was about to face an unexpected fight. As the dazzling display of lights faded from the sky, tension filled the air. The Galactic Empire and humanity were on the brink of war, and neither side was willing to back down. Commander Zara stood on the bridge of the Starbreaker, her eyes fixed on the horizon where the human jets had been performing their daring maneuvers. "Prepare for battle!" Zara shouted, her voice booming through the ship. "We will not let them think they can challenge us. Target their jets and prepare to fire." On the ground, General Mitchell and Dr. Angela were also preparing for the worst. The command center buzzed with activity as officers worked frantically to coordinate their defense. The humans had quickly moved from displaying their courage to gearing up for a fight. "Everyone listen," General Mitchell said, gathering the pilots. "This is it. We are facing a powerful enemy, but we are fighting for our home. Stay focused and remember your training. We will show them our strength." The pilots nodded, determination gleaming in their eyes. Captain Jason, leading the squadron, took a deep breath as he climbed into the cockpit of his jet. "Let's stick together and watch each other's backs," he reminded them. "We may be outnumbered, but we have the element of surprise." As the humans launched their jets into the sky, Zara's fleet was already in position. The massive ships of the Empire hovered ominously above the planet, their weapons charged and ready to fire. Zara watched as the human jets approached, and a cruel smile spread across her face. "Let's see how brave they are when the battle begins." With a swift motion, Zara signaled the attack. The Empire unleashed a barrage of energy blasts toward the incoming jets. Bright beams of light shot through the air, illuminating the darkening sky. The pilots of the human jets reacted quickly, banking and dodging to avoid the incoming fire. "Watch out!" Jason shouted, pulling his jet into a steep dive. The explosion rocked the air around him, and he felt the heat from the energy blast even from a distance. "Stay sharp, everyone! Don't let them hit you!" The air was filled with the sound of engines roaring and explosions echoing. Human jets darted through the sky like fireflies, weaving and turning to evade the Empire's powerful blasts. The battle had begun. As the humans fought back, they used their agility to their advantage. They executed swift maneuvers, performing loops and barrel rolls to dodge the Empire's fire. The pilots felt a rush of adrenaline as they pushed their machines to the limit. "Return fire!" Captain Jason commanded, and the jets unleashed their own missiles. The small but determined human forces aimed at the giant ships of the Empire, striking back with everything they had. Zara's expression changed from confidence to shock as she watched the explosions light up the sky. "What is happening? They're fighting back!" she exclaimed, gripping the armrest of her chair. "Commander, their jets are more skilled than we expected," Dr. Leo said, his voice filled with urgency. "We need to adapt our strategy!" Despite the initial shock, Zara's anger flared. "No! We will not be outdone by mere humans! Fire at will!" The battle escalated, and the skies filled with smoke and debris. The human jets began to take down some of the Empire's ships, leaving them spiraling toward the ground. The pilots cheered each time they scored a hit, fueled by a mix of fear and hope. However, the Empire was not to be underestimated. Zara rallied her crew, issuing new commands to regroup and attack. "We will crush their spirit. Show no mercy." The Galactic Fleet retaliated with a renewed vigor, firing more powerful blasts that sent shockwaves through the air. The humans found themselves outmatched in numbers, but their hearts burned with determination. Amid the chaos, Captain Jason and his squadron found themselves face to face with an Imperial fighter. "This one's mine!" he yelled, diving towards the enemy ship. The two jets engaged in a fierce dogfight, twisting and turning through the clouds. Jason's heart raced as he maneuvered his jet, narrowly avoiding enemy fire. He aimed carefully and fired, watching as his missile struck the Imperial fighter. The explosion lit up the sky, and for a brief moment Jason felt invincible. But the battle was far from over. The Galactic Empire was relentless, and their ships began to close in on the human fighters. The odds were stacked against them, and as more of their jets fell from the sky, the reality of the fight set in. "Stay together!" General Mitchell shouted into the comms, trying to keep the remaining pilots focused. "We can't give up now. We are fighting for our planet!" In that moment, the humans realized that this was more than just a battle. It was a fight for their survival. With each explosion and each lost jet, they felt the weight of their struggle. But within that struggle, they found strength, and their resolve only deepened. As the first clash of battle raged on, both sides faced the harsh truth. This war would not be easy, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. The humans were determined to fight for their home, and the Galactic Empire was about to learn that underestimating humanity came at a high cost. The battlefield was a chaotic swirl of fire, smoke, and shattered metal. The Galactic Empire's ships loomed ominously over Earth, while the human jets danced like angry hornets, refusing to back down. Commander Zara stood on the bridge of the Starbreaker, her heart pounding as she watched her fleet take hits. They had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. "Status report!" Zara demanded, her voice sharp and commanding. Dr. Leo, her trusted advisor, hurried to her side, his expression grim. "We have lost several ships, Commander," he said, his voice steady despite the chaos. "The humans are fighting fiercely. Their pilots are skilled and determined." Zara's jaw tightened. "We will not lose to them. Prepare to deploy our last wave of fighters. We need to crush their resistance once and for all." Meanwhile, on the ground, General Mitchell and Dr. Angela rallied the remaining pilots. The mood was tense but resolute. "We've come this far and we won't stop now," Mitchell shouted, looking into the eyes of each pilot. "This is our home! Let's show them what we're made of!" The pilots nodded, adrenaline surging through their veins. Captain Jason felt a deep sense of responsibility. His squadron had lost members, but they had also shown the Empire that humanity would fight back. "Let's finish this," he urged, his voice filled with determination. As the final wave of Imperial fighters launched from the Starbreaker, the humans prepared for the ultimate confrontation. Jason led his team into the sky, the roar of their engines a symphony of defiance against the Empire. The moment had come for a decisive clash. The two sides met in the skies over Earth. Explosions lit the horizon, and the air was thick with tension. The humans had learned from their previous encounters, adapting their strategies and working together with precision. They formed tight formations, using their speed and agility to evade the enemy's fire. "Stick together!" Jason called to his squadron. "We can do this! Watch each other's backs!" As they engaged in fierce dogfights, Jason found himself facing an Imperial fighter, piloted by a seasoned veteran. The two jets weaved through the chaos, firing at each other. Jason's heart raced as he dodged incoming blasts, feeling the heat of the enemy's shots graze his jet. "Not today," Jason shouted, pushing the throttle to its limit. He executed a risky maneuver, spinning his jet in a tight loop before firing a missile. The blast struck true, sending the enemy fighter spiraling into a fireball. Cheers erupted in the comms. "Nice shot, Jason," one of his teammates exclaimed. But the battle was far from over. Zara, furious at the loss of her fighters, roared for vengeance. "Target their leader," she commanded. "We will end this here and now." The remaining Imperial fighters focused on Jason and his squad. They unleashed a storm of fire, determined to take down the human leader. Jason could feel the pressure mounting, but he remained calm. "Stay strong, everyone! We've faced worse!" Dr. Angela monitored the battle from the command center, her heart racing. "We need to provide them with support," she urged General Mitchell. "Let's send in the ground troops to assist." "Do it!" Mitchell commanded, and the ground forces were activated. Troops armed with advanced weaponry launched their counteroffensive, targeting the Imperial ships from below. The combination of air and ground assaults caught the Empire off guard. The humans fought with a fierce determination that shocked Zara. "They are relentless!" she exclaimed, feeling the tide of the battle shifting. "Commander, we're losing control," Dr. Leo warned, fear creeping into his voice. With one final push, the human jets launched an all-out assault on the Starbreaker. Captain Jason led the charge, diving toward the massive ship with his squadron following close behind. "This is it! Let's end this battle!" The jets unleashed a torrent of missiles at the Starbreaker, and the ship shuddered under the onslaught. The explosions rocked the bridge, and Zara felt the panic rising among her crew. "Reinforce our shields! We can't let them break through!" she shouted. But it was too late. The combined might of the human jets and ground forces proved too much. The Starbreaker began to falter, and Zara knew they were losing. With a final desperate effort, she ordered a retreat. "Fall back! We need to regroup!" As the Empire's fleet pulled away, the human pilots cheered in victory. They had faced impossible odds and emerged stronger than ever. Jason looked around at his teammates, pride swelling in his chest. "We did it! We stood up to them." On the ground, General Mitchell and Dr. Angela celebrated alongside their troops. The battle had been hard fought, but humanity had shown its resilience. They had proven that they were not to be underestimated. As the dust settled, the humans looked to the sky, knowing this was just the beginning. The Galactic Empire had learned a lesson that day. Humanity was ready to fight for its home, and the final showdown was just the start of a long and fierce battle for survival. The galaxy had changed forever, and humanity had taken its first steps into a much larger universe.